Good morning, friends, and happy Friday. This is Pastor Jason for our morning check-in on this beautiful sunny morning. Rain looks all through. Everything outside is wet. Had to do some cleaning before I took my usual seat here today, but it is all good, friends. As we move towards wrapping up this first week in our unraveled unraveled series, as we get towards the end of this first week of our unraveled series, I want to I'm going to take this back to kind of the first scripture that we shared from this on Sunday. So all week we've been talking about what happens, when our expectations aren't met, when our expectations need to shift, when maybe God moves or works or shows up in an unexpected way that we don't get because it's not quite what we expect. Um, we have what we think is going to happen. We have what we think is going to be the normal course. We plan out the path for our life, and all of a sudden, circumstances or events comes. They come our way, and we find ourselves having to shift our expectations. Now, the scripture passage we looked at to start this off that we've been talking about from Sunday and up through this week is the story of Abraham and Sarah, and how in their old age, that's when they get blessed with Isaac. And Sarah laughs at the idea of it. She's just so caught off guard that just her reaction is just to laugh. It's that absurd. It's that miraculous. It's that momentous. It's that big of a moment. Just want to take a moment today to remind us how that starts, to remind us how all of this begins to unfold. We go back to Genesis, go back to the opening verses of chapter 18. Abraham is sitting by the entrance of his tent in the heat of the day. He looked up and saw 3 men standing near him. When he saw them, he ran from the tent entrance to meet them and bowed down to the ground. Said, "My Lord, if I find favor with you, do not pass your servant. Let a little water be brought to wash your feet. Rest yourselves under the tree. Let me bring you some bread." He has Sarah make some cakes. He has a servant slaughter a goat, a calf, tender and good. He lays out a feast for these 3 men who appear to him. The very first act, at the spark at the start of the story of Isaac, of Sarah's laughing, of this miraculous event. It all just starts with a man and his wife showing some hospitality. That's it. This whole story begins to unfold, and there's promises from God, and Abraham has been called from the land of his fathers. Yet we can take the starting point much sooner. In this anecdote that we're looking at, in this section that we're looking at, this chapter, this section starts when Abraham sees 3 men near him and just goes to serve them. Offers them water, offers them a meal, offers them some shade, provides them food so they can continue on their journey. The greatest blessing of Abraham's life and Sarah's life, everything that is to come for Israel through Isaac and through his lineage, starts with Abraham and Sarah preparing some food and setting a table for the Lord. Setting a table for these 3 men who appeared. As things seem to unravel, things seem to fall apart around us, where are the opportunities where that just by being hospitable to one another, that we may in fact be serving God himself? Jesus talks about, how some point he's going to come back, and we're going to be sifted onto one side or the other. Friends, he said, well, like, Lord, when did we ever serve you? And he said, well, I was thirsty, you gave me something to drink. I was hungry, you gave me some food. I was in prison, and you came to visit me. I was naked, and you gave me clothes. And we'll be left to ask, but Lord, when did we ever see you hungry or thirsty or naked or in prison? He said, what you did for my brothers and sisters, what you do for your brothers and sisters, what you do for your fellow man, you do for me. These acts of hospitality, and I don't even mean radical hospitality, just these simple acts of hospitality can often be the catalyst for huge, amazing, life-changing God moments in God stories. In spite of everything that's going on, the openings, the closings, the tension, the discussion, just all of the partisan rhetoric going on, much of that is diffused by hospitality. We show the world who we are by our hospitality. We change the world through our hospitality. I think that the very, very beginning for this series, as we're going to talk about what happens when things seem to fall apart around us, is a reminder of just some of the promise and the blessing of God that comes as a result of just an act of hospitality. Friends, look around yourself today. Be mindful today. See who you can help. See who you can serve. See who you can be hospitable to. And then, see what God can do with that. See what God can do through that. Thanks for spending this time together with us this morning. Hope you have a great day, a wonderful Friday. Be safe, be well. Remember how much you are loved, friends.